Now, I wouldn't call myself any sort of Pixar fanboy or anything like that, but they do make good movies most of the time, and some of them are even excellent. Especially if we're just talking original movies and not any of the sequels. Although some of the sequels have been good too, so can't knock those either. But when it comes to this one in particular, I wasn't actually very hyped about it. Because I saw the trailer and pretty much nothing about it looked appealing to me. Not the story, not the characters, not even the whole art style and design of things. Like the character design and the whole world just didn't look like something I'd like. And I'm not sure exactly why, but that was just a gut feeling I had about it after watching the trailer. But I gotta admit that was also part of the reason I wanted to see this. I wanted to see if Pixar really put out something I disliked. Or if it was just me and my initial reaction based on not much at all. And well, the story here follows two brothers who live in a fantasy world. But the world has moved on toward a more technology-based modern society, not unlike ours. And along the way, magic has fallen into disuse and been largely forgotten. But these two brothers end up on a bit of an adventure or a quest of sorts, in order to find out if magic still exists, and if so, can they perhaps harness it? And you know, this is actually a bit of a road trip movie, which isn't a bad thing. But it means most of the movie is spent driving from one objective to the next. And they're driven on by the urge to complete this quest for reasons I'm not gonna get into here. But let's just say it involves a very common trope in Pixar movies. And that's sort of the driving force behind the actual story and the plot. But to my surprise, that's not really what the movie ends up being about. It's actually about, well, that's getting into spoilers, so I probably shouldn't even go there. Because it did come as a bit of a surprise to me and a bit of a revelation for the main character as well. But I really liked the turn it took and appreciated where the whole story ended up. Speaking of things I appreciated, I'm also a big fan of the attention to detail in the writing here. Because there are so many little things that are set up along the way, things that seem insignificant at the time, but end up paying off later. And I love that. It's just the mark of good writing and solid storytelling. It's basically just applying the principle of Chekhov's gun, which so many writers ignore. And that more or less states that if you introduce an element to the story, it better pay off later or it should be eliminated altogether. And this movie sets up tons and tons of small things along the way, and they pretty much all pay off. Now when it comes to the overall movie, I thought it was pretty good. A lot of the humor fell a bit flat for me, but then I did get a number of really good chuckles as well. And as I alluded to, the main arc I liked as well. It worked and I had no issues with it. But as a whole, I wouldn't put this up there with the Toy Stories and the Inside Out. I just didn't find it to be all that remarkable, but it was definitely solid. And quite a bit better than I had expected it to be based on just a trailer. But yeah, would I recommend it? Sure, why not? It's not a bad movie by any means. So maybe give it a look or maybe don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you and thanks for watching.